Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have our first bit of news coming out of the Dallas Cowboys training camp period, and that's the fact that one of the biggest stars for the team will begin the training camp period on the physically unable to perform list. But don't worry, this was all according to plan, or it was expected at the very least. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Be sure to subscribe for more Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott content on the regular as we are on the road to 20K. All right, so you can see here, Trevon Diggs is expected to start camp on the active/physically unable to perform list. This is not something that's coming by surprise for the Cowboys organization. I think all along, everyone thought that Trevon Diggs was going to start training camp on this particular list, or at least he would have to ramp up his recovery from his torn ACL last season. Remember, he suffered that torn ACL after week 3 against the Cardinals last season in practice. It was essentially like a non-contact injury. So you want to make sure that you're giving this guy all the time possible to come back as strong as he possibly can. While ACL recovery times have decreased as sports medicine has gotten better over the years, optimally, you still want guys to have a full year of recovery time from this type of injury, at the very minimum, just so the player himself can get confidence back in that particular extremity. ACLs and anything that's affecting joints, y'all, that's something that mentally it takes just as much of a toll on a player as it does physically, because you got to trust your body. You got to remember, these are guys that are going to have to be cutting and making hard stops and going and a lot of explosive movements. A lot of that, especially at that corner position, you need your knees, man. So I want Trevon to get as much time as possible. Now, please note, he can come off the physically unable to perform list as soon as he passes a physical, but all indications are the Cowboys are going to slow play this because, again, Trevon is someone that they've already invested into. Remember, prior to Trevon Diggs, the Cowboys did not pay cornerbacks. I think the highest paid cornerback we might have had prior to Trevon was Brandon Carr, and that was an absolute disaster, right? Beyond that, I mean, Terrence Newman maybe was the most notable corner we had, but Trevon is definitely an investment, and you want to handle him as such. Don't do anything that's going to put him in harm's way, or don't put him out there if he's not fully ready, because we saw how Terrence Steele looked last season, y'all. We got to be completely honest. Terrence Steele was not all that great last season, but he gets the benefit of the doubt because he was still coming off of that injury. That was his first year back. And usually a player's first year back off of those type of injuries, unless your name is Adrian Peterson, usually you see a decrease in productivity. Then after that initial season where guys are able to build that confidence in that leg, then you start to kind of see them return to form. So I'm not expecting Trevon Diggs to return next season and automatically be an all-pro cornerback. With that being the case, we need Stephon Gilmore back, y'all. We need Gilly back. We need the Gilly lock back in Dallas. I have no clue why this man is not signed to someone's NFL roster right now. He recently came out and said he pretty much feels the same exact way. He has no clue why he's not on someone's roster just yet. As he said, you can't convince me there's 64 starting corners better than Stephon Gilmore at this phase of his career, when we're just, a couple of months removed from seeing him lock up the likes of A.J. Brown and essentially be matched up on the other team's best corner every game after Trevon Diggs went down. Stephon Gilmore did more than a good job last season, in my opinion, based on the fact that he was essentially thrust into a position that he wasn't expecting to be in. He was not expecting to come to the Cowboys and have to cover the other team's best receiver every single game. He was not expecting that, y'all. So the fact that he was able to perform the way that he did under those circumstances, man, bring him back for another season, bro. Don't one and done Stephon Gilmore. Y'all have one and done plenty of guys. There's guys that I wish y'all would have one and done. Chuma Edoga. Don't one and done Stephon Gilmore. Bring Gilly Lock back. Shore up that defensive back room. Yes, we have Kalen Carson, a.k.a. Walking Seatbelt. Yes, we have Israel Mukuamu. Yes, we have Eric Scott Jr. Yes, we have other guys, but none of those guys I just named are proven that they can go out there and lock up the other team's best receiver or second best receiver game in and game out. So bring Stephon Gilmore back so Trevon Diggs can have the luxury, he can have that time that he needs to really return to the Trevon Diggs that we all know and love as Dallas Cowboys fans. I think the last thing you need to do, being that you're already kind of making guys play with a handicap this season, you weren't super active in free agency, you haven't made a lot of noise this offseason. The worst thing you can do is thrust guys that are not particularly ready to be in a certain position, is thrust those guys into that position and then not have a fallback plan at all. The same logic applies to that defensive tackle position. The same logic applies to that wide receiver 3 position. There's question marks on this team that need to be fortified with veteran presences, okay? I'm not telling y'all to go get one of the best corners in the league or nothing, but damn it, bring Gilly back or bring someone back that can give Trevon that time and that cushion that he needs to really return to form. So that way, if worst case scenario happens, we're not stuck with Deron Bland, a rookie DB, and then Jordan Lewis in the slot. That is not the optimal situation that Cowboys fans want to see themselves in. So bring Gilly back, bro. I'm sure he won't cost a little bit of nothing at this point, since other teams have clearly lost interest in the 33-year-old corner. Again, he is 33 years old. He's coming off that torn labrum. It's a 4 to 6 weeks injury recovery time, though, so he should be perfectly fine from that by now. Bring Gilly back. Bring Gilly back. Trevon physically unable to perform. I'm sure he's going to be off to the races by the time training camp gets into the thick of it. But as of right now, the Cowboys need to kind of get some insurances in place. And I think the best way to do that is by bringing a guy that played damn good football for you last season back for this upcoming season. But either way, you guys let me know down in the comments below, what are you looking forward to the most in training camp? And I'll see you guys on the next one. Be sure to subscribe for more Dallas Cowboys content. And remember, we stink same old Cowboys.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Oh, shut up, my boy. Hey! I'm still them boys.